What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, Vlogmas Day 6. On this one, we came to the conclusion that we kind of expected you guys to know me because in my head I was doing the video for those of you that were going to watch it right now, but I didn't really realize that you guys might just come across the video on YouTube. So today's going to be a me intro. I'm going to introduce myself, where I'm coming from, my path, my story, and how I became who I am. I'm gonna start by just telling you guys a little bit of story. I'm gonna look down a little bit, like I said in the last video, we're learning, so today I scripted a little bit so I don't have much blanks. And I wanna make sure I give you guys pretty much all the details. My name is Vince Morris. I am 30 years old. I live in Montreal, Canada. I've always been raised in Quebec. I traveled a little bit, but most of the time I spent it in here, Quebec, Canada. So I'm gonna go back to where I was born, 1991. I was born in a ville called Saint-Jérôme in the Montreal area. I was raised by my mom, a single mother of two, but I was the firstborn. Never knew my dad. Eventually, my mom had met my brother's father. I have a brother, his name is Sam. And like I said, my mom was a single mother for the most part of her life. And when I was a kid, I had to move around a lot. My mom was always a hardworking mother. She was mostly working 2 to 3 jobs all the time, providing for us. But also that meant the cost of living were kind of expensive for her, having 2 child. And me being the oldest, I was trying to help her as much as I can. But when you're young, you know, you just live your life as a young kid. And because of the fact that we were moving a lot, I had to adapt and develop the personality of where I needed to go and have new friends and meet new people and just be really outgoing. And it really made my personality of like being a chameleon and just like, you know, just try to fit in pretty much everywhere and make friends. And you know, that created that personality for me, and I will forever be grateful. And I grew up in like smaller cities, and it was always like you could go around on bikes, on just walking everywhere, and everything was just so close. So I had made a lot of friends that I still talk to this day. Those are mostly like, I grew up in a small town called Montebello. If you guys are into the rock and metalcore and that type of vibes, the Montebello Rock Fest is actually where it was taking place. That was a side note, actually. And going back to when I was a kid, I lived there until I was like, I would say 13, 14, pretty much there where my mom bought her first house. Lived there and always like being like the fun kid, you know, had a skate park in my yard, I had a pool, a trampoline, like we could always do bonfire at home. My mom was always supportive and like welcoming to all of my friends. So, you know, being that cool kid that everyone wants to be a part of his life or like his surrounding. So I'm gonna have to shout out to my mom. Thank you so much for making me the cool kid. I really appreciate it. Growing up, I played a lot of sports. Played hockey, stopped playing hockey to ride snowboards, which I still am today, and played football, soccer, karate. Most recently played paintball, but when I was young, mostly like team sports. That also helped me to make friends for new schools, and because I was always like with the people that were around the city or the area. And I always loved and enjoyed sports. That is a given, 100%. My younger brother also played sports too. We both played football, and we played for 2 different teams actually, because he was a little bit younger than me, and we shared a number. So yeah, number 15 was for us. I had to move after my first few years in high school. I think my second year I had to leave to another city, and that's pretty much where I kind of developed my I want to say my man personality, where I had to make better decisions and surround myself with better people. At the time, I had a cousin that I was going to school with, a year older than me, and we were really close. I was always with him and his friends, and like also made some friends that were a different group, but still I was really looking up to him. It was like always the the guy with like the cool cars. He had the money because it was working, and like he was working out, and like he was in really really good shape. So I was really looking up to him. At one point, we kind of, I won't say that we grew apart, but since I was starting to hang out with different people, started to make a little, I'm not gonna say bad decision, but not the greatest, and I started using drugs. I'd done that for a few months straight. It wasn't like really crazy. It was not an addiction. It was just like, you know, you're a teenager and, well, you try stuff. At one point, I remember him showing up to my place where I live with my mom, and he looked at me and he said, you look absolutely terrible. You look like a failure, and I'm really sad that you're into that kind of group. And it really touched me. So it was really hard to hear him say that. And right when he said that, I was going to Jamaica for like 2 weeks. So you know what Jamaica is known for. Brought the habit back in Canada. So I kept smoking for another month. And after that month, I completely stopped. It was something that was never for me. I don't like it, actually. It was just I needed to find a balance because I was doing other stuff before, and I needed a replacement, you know? And at one point I would just completely shut off my new friends and the circle that I had at that time. And I hit up my cousin back and I was like, can I start working out with you again and just go to the gym and just have better habits? And it was really good that I wanted to do that because the gym helped me do so much. And during that period that I started talking to him again, I was also playing football, and it was a really good moment. I was doing really great. Always been a good student, so I was really disruptive student, but also a really good one. Around 16 years old, a tragedy happened, and I lost one of my best friends. Frank, rest in peace, bro. And it launched me in a really depressive mood, and I dropped out of school, and I wasn't being the best. I was just, you know, completely off. Nothing was going well, and I just going through the motion. Fast forward a little bit, you know, a few years go by, and there's a program where I could go back to school. Adult school, actually. And I went there and studied a little bit, did my thing, got my diploma, but right before I was about to end the year, they gave me an ultimatum, and they were about to kick me out because I was too disruptive. I was a class clown. I wasn't taking it seriously, and they gave me the option to either go and leave or get into professional studies. So decided to go and study to be a restaurant manager or bar manager or a waiter or in the restaurant industry. So studied that, I aced it. I became the president of two school for professional studies. That year, I competed as a waiter as well. Great placement, loved it, and also the best student of the year. So that really helped me, put me to a great place, met some amazing people as well, and beautiful stories also. My teacher was a great man. And it launched me to the restaurant and bar industry for the next 6 years, where I bounced around, tried new stuff, tried different type of restaurant and bars. I really enjoyed that industry. At one point I started to not give up. I won't say it was just my passion for it kind of disappeared a little, and I didn't enjoy it as much. And during that time I was watching a lot of YouTube and the fitness influencer that were kind of coming up, and I thought that it was really inspiring. And I was still lifting weights, I was still enjoying it, and it was just a really great moment. And I was like, you know what, I think it's time for me to take the leap of faith and just quit my job as a waiter and go to my personal trainer certification. So did that for 2 months, I think, and started coaching at the gym where I was working. The owner was really nice, let me have a few customers. They didn't have a coach over there, so I was like taking clients. It was really good. I did it for almost a year. That's where things kind of get interesting a little bit more, where it takes a turn. But we're gonna have to continue this story on part 2. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this part. We'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Don't forget to like this one, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, comment down below, and we'll see you tomorrow for part 2.